Hey sis, have you ever felt like you keep having to start over? Like just when you feel like you're getting back on track, something else happens. A decision, a pattern, a moment, and now you're back into recovery mode again. And it's exhausting. Yes, because it's not just life happening to you. Now it starts to feel like it's a cycle. So let's talk about it because not everything we go through is just about what happened like to us. Sometimes it's about what we haven't healed through or what we haven't changed yet. And this is totally like I'm not even judging or anything like that. I just want to bring awareness to some of the things that, people different people deal with, or maybe even you're dealing with that right now. It's about like I said, bringing awareness because wisdom is what helps you break cycles. And there's like a difference between going through something once and going through the same thing over and over and over again. And at some point, it's no longer just a pain. Now it becomes like a pattern. And patterns don't change until something inside of you changes. So let me explain it. Here's what's really happening. Like your mind and your habits start to create familiar responses, even when those responses don't serve you. But they feel normal and they feel automatic. So what happens is then you start to react in the same way. Like you choose the same type of situations, you ignore the same red flags, and then you find yourself in the same place again. And the reason why this happens is because your pattern hasn't been like interrupted yet. Yep. And this is where like you start to like realize and be like, hold on, let me learn about this. Because think about it. There's a passage in the Bible, in Proverbs 3, that reminds us that not to rely on our own understanding, but we're supposed to seek God's guidance and direction. He says, lean not on your own understanding because his ways are not our ways and his thoughts are not our thoughts. And what happens is sometimes what feels right to us is actually what's more just familiar, but it may not be the best decision. Just because it's comfortable and familiar doesn't mean it's the best decision for you. Yep. And if you keep leaning toward what's more familiar than what's the best thing for you, then you'll keep repeating and reliving what's painful. Because again, it's a cycle. And so wisdom tells us to slow down when we're moving too fast. It also helps you like pause before you react. Yep. And it also helps you to recognize patterns before they repeat, before you repeat the same patterns. Yep. And sometimes it asks like, is this leading me toward peace or back into the same cycle? So just asking yourself that can kind of help and then cause a bit some awareness like, is this leading me to peace or is this leading me right back into that same cycle that I keep going through? Yep. And the thing is that I bring that up because you're not meant to live your life in constant recovery mode. That's not the life that God has for you. He doesn't want you to keep living your life in a constant state of recovery. Yep. And you're not meant to always be picking up the pieces over and over and over and over. And he doesn't want you to continually start over and start over and start over. Yep. Trying to fix what you could have avoided. And I know this may sound a little painful, but sis, these are things that we need to talk about so we can overcome it. Because, when you know better, you do better. So I will always try to tell the truth and bring stuff to light, about cycles and things like that, and what psychology shows, and why people get stuck in cycle, why we make certain decisions that we make, why we keep ending up with certain things in certain situations that we end up in. So, and also realize too that God's wisdom is not there, it's not here to restrict you. It's there to protect you and guide you. Because the Bible is your guide. Like, you can find like answers to everything in the Bible. You just think about when it says love is patient, love is kind, all the things that love is. And so if a person, like, you're with somebody and it doesn't line up with that, that's your answer. Or if you know somebody that's like always hot headed, or they just flash off and just go off, or things like that. It talks about, or let's say the better example is this. Somebody that, like, they keep going back and forth with decisions. One minute they're like this, one minute they're like that, one minute they're nice, one minute they're mean. The Bible talks about not being double-minded. It says a person that's double-minded is unstable in all their ways. So yeah, so you could just, use that as your guide on practically everything. So again, God's wisdom is not there to restrict you. It's there to protect you, to help you and guide you. Like, if you're fearful about something or things like that, like stepping out on faith about making a different decision and breaking a cycle, don't be scared, because what the Bible says, that God did not give us the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. Like, I don't like driving on the highway. Like, something happened, I don't even know why I stopped being comfortable with like distance, like a long distance. But that's something that I really need to get over, because I can't let that stop me. I just have to do my best with being safe. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't give us a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. Okay. So I said all that to say, like, if you've been feeling stuck in the cycle, if you've been having to continually recover over and over and over, more than you're able to rest, just pause, give it to God. Don't be shameful about it, but just be aware and ask yourself, what do I need to see differently? Or how can I choose differently, make different choices? Because healing is not just about recovering, it's about learning, so you don't have to keep reliving the same thing over and over and over, and pivoting to make a change. Because what they say, the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. You're not going to get a different result if you keep doing the same thing. So if you don't know where to start, you could pray. I'll give you a prayer. You could say, Lord, give me wisdom so I don't have to keep learning the hard way. Just simple as that. Lord, give me the wisdom so I don't have to keep learning the hard way. And that's where your change is going to begin, okay? All right, sis. So if this message helped you find a little clarity, and peace, please be sure to like and subscribe. And as always, I'm wishing you peace, love, joy, and happiness. My name's Melinda. I'm a registered nurse, a life coach, and a mentor. I can't even talk. See, my name is Melinda. I'm a life coach, a registered nurse, and a mentor. And on our channel, we focus on faith, healing, and emotional wellness. All right. And so, again, if this message touched you in any way or you could relate to it, please like and subscribe. And as always, I'm wishing you peace, love, joy, and happiness. All right. Have a great day, guys.